Yeah, that's a great.
Almost
Go
got me,
right
didn't
ahead. Go right ahead.
it?
Go right ahead, mister. Yeah, let's okay. So now I'm going to change the settings so we can see the comments.
There we go.
Yeah, that is a what a uh in StreamYard that is issue. Oh, here we are. Okay. That if somebody else is using StreamYard and listening here, if you don't go into your Facebook thing and change the audience to public,
Right.
it defaults to friends. Then we're not able to see in StreamYard the comments from any of the things, which is odd. I just changed it. So last time we were on, I changed it, and all of a sudden we could see LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook.
Well, that's cool.
So yeah, I don't know
Well,
why that's like
well,
that.
hello everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Live.
Thursday Night Live.
I don't have much of a voice tonight, so you all will need to bear with me. Hi, Janet.
Janet's in
You,
Ireland. Yay! This is Jazz Hands, right? Jazz Hands. We do that on Team Time Tuesday. We do Jazz Hands
Yep.
when I.
Hey, Janet, what time is it in Ireland? I know you just said good morning. What time is it there?
She's 5 hours difference, right? So
Oh,
seven, eight,
okay.
9, 10, 11. It's midnight. Is it midnight there?
I don't know. She put good morning. So,
I think it's midnight
please.
there. Oh, and there's Peg Duchesne. Peg was on the send out cards training earlier. Yeah, it's midnight. So she's 5 hours ahead of us over
Very
in
cool.
Ireland. I would love to go over there. Have you been to Ireland? Yeah, you
I
said
have
you
not.
no, not yet.
Nope.
Oh, it's awesome.
I have been to other places in Europe. I've been to Italy and France and England, and I guess that's probably it actually. Those three countries, but never been to Ireland. But I would love to go. Janet,
Oh,
when
it
I
was
come out there, you're
nice.
gonna have to show me around.
Yeah, and there's June. Hey, June. June's near here.
Hey, June.
She's less than an hour from me. where
No.
where June lives. Everything's by time, just like in Texas, right? They don't do it by miles; they do it by time. And there's Penny. Hey, Penny.
Hey, Benny.
So,
Well,
yeah,
when
Penny
in
was on.
Texas, an hour-long drive might just be to the grocery store. It's kind of crazy. And when we're out at the ranch, it's literally 30 minutes to the closest decent grocery store. And so you go there, you do your shopping, and you go back, and you take a cooler with you to make sure that the things don't, get too warm in the back of your car.
Well, I mean,
No, I
it's
think
like
we're
that here too, but there's people there. You drive a long ways and it's barren, right?
right. Well, not
Right.
always, not always.
Not always, but here. Oh, Maureen's on. Hey, Maureen. Um, and Teresa.
Hey,
Yay.
Teresa.
No, Teresa knows that. Yeah, she lives in Westmoreland, and it's probably 20 minutes down to Keene to the decent sized grocery store.
Right.
Here it's the same way. We have a little corner store, and my friends that come here for parties make terrible fun of me over it. It's called Country Three Corners. It's kind of like Ike Godsey's store. You can rent a tractor and have a wine tasting there at Ike Godsey's store. But they call it Country Three Corners. I don't know why it's in an intersection. And then, but then there's that, and then you have to go to the next one, which is about 10 miles down the road. It's called Sully's, and it's a little bit bigger. And then if you want to go to the actual grocery store, it's a half hour.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one reason I prefer spending time in spring where I am right now than I do out at our ranch. And the thing I love the most about the ranch is we've got some absolutely awesome friends. And so when we're out there getting to be around them, it just means a lot to both of us. But excuse me.
Did you say
Sorry.
you had cattle?
Well, there's cows on the property, but I don't own them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's not uncommon actually for people to have land and let other people run their cattle on there because of the cows being on there. Instead of paying taxes on $1 million plus piece of property, you don't pay tax on the land itself. Or you
Oh,
do, but it's very minimal, like a couple $100 a year. So that it's called an ag valuation for your taxes. And so when that happens, uh, the taxes instead of like my taxes out there run about $3,500 a year,
Oh,
and they
wow.
would easily run $15,000 a year if they taxed me on the land. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
in Texas, you can actually, you were talking about, is it very, um, if nobody there, very kind of desolate. And there are parts of Texas that are that way. When you get out, especially toward West Texas, hey Eunice, hey Penny, you get out toward West Texas, it can be that way. But in this area, it's not so much like Laurie and I drove up to Dallas. Well, I did the show last week from up there because she had a real estate, women's real estate investment network thing she was going to, and it was a 3.5 hour drive, and a lot of it was unpopulated, but you go through little towns here and there. But
Unpopulated.
between Dallas and Houston, it's 3.5, 4 hour drive, and that's just around the block. So
So, what is roughly the population of Texas?
I think it's probably about 13 million, but that's just a guess.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, I
that's
could ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is the population of Texas? She, Siri's not cooperating with me. Never mind.
oh, Alexa, what is the population of Texas?
According to the 2020 U.S. Census, the population of Texas is 29.1 million people, which
29
is
million.
29 million. Yeah,
You were off by 15 million?
yeah. I don't see. I don't know everybody.
Oh, there's
And so
David.
some
Hey,
of these people I
David.
don't know.
And then Pat Falasco, who's trying to kill me. and Eunice. Yeah, Pat, we're going to stay at Pat's house overnight the night before we go to the convention. And
Oh, Pat, do not make cookies. All right, so never
muffins. Pat makes muffins.
mind.
The thing is, well, now I know though. Before I didn't know. I think it's always a little scary. And there's Janine. Um,
And David Good was up there. Hi, David.
I was sitting at Pat's kitchen on her counter, and I got there before the other people, and I was sitting there. Oh, she's baking them. Yeah, yeah. I'm sitting at her counter having coffee, and it was morning, and she gave me a muffin, and I'm eating the coffee and the muffin, and Brooke Sanitas comes in, and Brooke says, "You didn't eat that whole muffin, I hope." And I'm like, right. That's never a good. You didn't
It's like
listen.
when we were
That says you didn't listen.
when you and I were signing books last year in D.C. and she came up and I saw the cookies on the table. Well, I'll have a cookie, and I had a cookie, and she went, "Oh, you didn't let him eat that cookie, didn't you?"
See, I get that's the fun part, though. Really,
Yeah.
really.
Later on, I was glad that we were through signing books because I'm not sure I could have spelled my name.
And there's Mr. Bibb. Sup, Captain?
Bib.
Yeah, there's the Bibster. So yeah, the convention should be fun. We're Pat lives close enough that we're going to stay at her house the night before and then Uber down, like all in one vehicle because there's parking problems in Boston in general. What's that? Gel Mayo? What's that mean? I go LMAO. I know what that means. But what's JE? JE. I don't know.
Maybe
But
she was
anyway,
trying to say Jeff, LMAO, but she had basically been already into the
oh,
cookies or
she's
the
only 10
brownies.
minutes. 10 minutes from the place. Oh, that's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah,
we're gonna do that rather than pay the parking down there.
that makes
So
sense.
that'll be awesome. Yeah,
When
except we'll be in a haze the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah.
When Laurie and I were up at in Dallas, the the for the thing she was at, we just happened to ask. It was at a Sheraton, and we know that Sheraton and Marriott are now like cohorts or whatever. And Laurie thought to ask at the desk, "Do you have any kind of special thing for Marriott Gold members? Because that's our level of Marriott." They said, "As a matter of fact, we do." They gave us a special ticket, and we got in the Sheraton Club. Now it's we
Sorry.
have sound effects tonight. This is good.
Yeah.
But we got into the Sheraton
Hey,
Club. We got into the Sheraton Club,
so you got in
and
the concierge club thing at
yeah,
Marriott?
they had food. It's like we literally didn't have to go out and eat it because the food
Free,
in there was good.
yeah.
And so
Oh, I love that when that happens. That doesn't happen
yeah,
that often to me, but I love that. Oh,
Uh,
Pat's sitting on the porch. I love Pat's porch. She's got a nice porch. Yeah, well, we were sitting on Pat's porch before, after the muffin debacle, and I didn't realize I think, what was I drinking, Pat? I think it was iced tea or something, but I didn't realize
Long Island version.
she put some gummies at the bottom of it that I hadn't counted on. I guess she said. So then her and Brooke are like, "We're going to go in now." And I thought about getting up and walking in the house. And then I thought, no, I'm not doing that right now. So I said, well, I'll be in after a little bit because I'm not walking right now. I'm just going to chill out on the porch briefly here. Right, right. Yeah, I
Neat.
thought crawling was probably a bad idea.
If
But
anybody's wondering why I put Jeff Johnny Cash West tonight, what's going on is Laurie got sick while we were up in North Texas in Dallas, and then I got it the same thing from her a couple of days later. And so, but whenever I get hit with anything, I know that I'm coming down with something when my voice can go very low. And in the green room, I was singing, at least I was singing uh, some Johnny Cash stuff where he goes really low and I can hit the notes. I won't do it tonight. I'm going to spare you all, but that's why, because I have almost no voice. It is, and I'm going to have to mute myself several times because I'll be coughing.
we're
But
golfing.
anyway.
Pat said what she gave me, it wasn't iced tea, it was 100 proof coconut rum and gummies in the bottom of it. Yeah, and
So I'm getting the real details. I'm guessing that you kind of adapted that story. I had some iced tea, and all of a sudden I felt funny. How did that happen?
well, the next day I kept going, Pat's trying to kill me, like all day. And every time I see Pat, I was like, hey, Pat's trying to kill me.
That's
No, it should
funny.
be fun. So now, what I want to talk about before we get to
Yeah, it's
um,
time.
when you lose your mojo, or you're not going forward in whatever your plan is, how? Oh, Eunice says she's having a hard time hearing you. I don't know why. I can hear you.
I'll get a little closer. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of
See, I still
fire.
want to go somewhere where you're going to do karaoke. That's I
If we ever in the
yeah,
same spot, oh, then I'll do it.
yeah,
You need to get a whole group, and y'all just come to Florida when we do these things in Florida. This will be so much
yeah.
fun to have a bunch of people
The
that follow
streetwise,
you
it
there. Yeah,
would. Yeah, it
yeah,
would. Um, yeah. So the whole what you do when you get your mojo back, that's part of the reason a bunch of us go to the conventions. So
right.
your company convention is a good way to do that. And you know what? It's not just for the training and all that. I like to go to the training, but I like to watch them afterward. I don't like to go live to the stuff because who I'm there for is to see my team members and my
Right,
colleagues. And to me, I work most of the year by myself, as do all of the direct sellers practically.
right.
So it's just so fun to be in a place where three other people are wearing the same jewelry as me. I look around. Well, you look around and you're like, I'm not alone in this world. Look at four other people have that purse we were selling last year. Or, you know what I mean? Or look at they got the luggage we won 2 trips ago because we all go on the trips together.
Right,
It's
right,
just so fun. So part of my um, get back on the horse is to go to stuff like a convention, or even when it's not a group that I'm that familiar with, like when we went out to Denver, when me and Peg went out to Denver, that
mhm,
still was very motivational for me. I liked that. Being around other people who are big go-getters like that. That
right,
Denver group, they're crazy ambitious, and just being around them was
right.
motivational. So I was wondering what kind of things do you do to get, or don't you ever get down? I can't believe that.
No, no, I definitely have, and it sometimes for me it's a new project that gets me going again. For example, our relationship is a perfect example because I had 10 years ago I wrote the Unexpected Tour Guide, started speaking, doing a lot of that, and I had a lot of success doing it. over the course of the years, I got a little bit like Bob. I didn't want to travel so much and all that, so I cut back on a lot of that. And what kind of spurred me back into action was when you and I did the book. So it was a new project, and that kind of spurred me on. And then the next project came with Bob, and then the next one with Bill Cates, and I've got other people who want to do projects now. And so just that, taking that first step, getting that first thing going, was the key factor in my case. But what happens with me, or at least it did my entire sales career, it's like I had to get that mojo back every day, because we were in the sales that I did, we were very heavy into prospecting, and it was business to business sales. So you were out there calling on companies, and every single morning, it was like the first four, five, six calls were really tough, and then after that, it was a lot easier. And so I remember as I was in training schools, and I would be teaching the new agents, I would say, sometimes when you first get out there, it feels like you're waist deep in peanut butter. And then I looked around, then I looked around the room and said, "Now, if any of you like that, I don't want to hear it. This is not the right
Oh,
thing."
well, that's
But
wrong. That's wrong, really.
yeah, well, that's why I went from the eighth grade forward. The teachers always said, "That boy ain't right." But, so it was.
I've said that
It's
about
just
you. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if you didn't, you should have. But so
No,
it was
somebody say,
always every
who'd you do that book with? And I'm like, that boy ain't right.
boy ain't right. But for me, it was always every morning I did that. But when I would just start, and it didn't take long to get over that. But I literally, when it came to cold calls, I had to do that a lot. And so it was like restarting a little bit of it, getting your momentum going again.
Yeah, and I'm a big one about music too. I have playlists, and that helps me a lot get going when I either don't want to do something or I'm stuck.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that I rely on most is lists. So I make a list. So like if I'm sitting here and I start to beat up on myself because I'm not making any progress today, I'll be
Hmm.
like, I'll make a list. I'll
Yeah.
make a list, and I'll put a couple things on the list that'll be easy to get off the list. And they could be personal stuff like unload the dishwasher or something, but I get to use my highlighter and mark it off when I got it done, and I feel like I did something. But most of the stuff on the list is work related. So
Right.
even if I did undo the dishwasher, then I also made a social media post about whatever I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I list making has helped me a lot.
Right.
But in the long run, I think it's going to all boil down to you have to be working towards something,
Right.
don't you think?
You do, and you have to make a decision. It's time to start again. You know. Hey, Don, we are seeing your comments, so you're good. Uh, the but yeah, you have to. It's all starts with what's between your ears, just like everything else does. You understand the right choice you need to make, and you make that decision to do it, and then you put it into action. So there's no magic pill. Even a gummy's not a magic pill for getting your activity going again. But I think Don had said that I might have had a gummy. That Don, I have not had a gummy. I'm sticking strictly with my coffee.
Right.
Actually, tonight it's grapefruit juice because I'm sick. I'm trying to get over that. So
Oh, and yeah, I'm drinking regular. What is this pink drink, which is just no calorie vitamin water. But I like the. Can you read that today?
yes, I can.
Yeah, one of my awesome friends sent me this.
Parents, cover your children's eyes. Cover their eyes.
Don says, I've learned the difference between losing your mojo and dealing with actual depression, and they take two different approaches. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that certainly is true. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think during the whole shutdown, I think we all were. I don't know.
Mm.
I caught myself not showering and not dressing and stuff, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm on a slippery slope here. This could suck me down to the abyss of dismal depression here if I don't cut it out. So then I started wearing started making sure I showered every day and wore jewelry every day, whether I was leaving the house or not. I had to make myself do that stuff to make sure I didn't get sucked down the, yeah. But I saw a lot of people have that problem.
Oh, I can do that when I'm binge riding, especially if I'm out at the ranch, because I can ride out at the ranch. I can't do internet shows out there. There's just no way to make that work right. But I can write out there, and it's real easy when you're out there in the middle of nowhere and you're not seeing people other than who the person that lives in the same house with you. It's real easy for me to get up. Not even, well, I was going to say not even brush my hair, but I brush my hair every morning. I just do. It's one of my weird idiosyncrasies. But other than that, not do anything, just start writing and I'll binge write. And it's like you've seen the movies or TV shows you can stream on these services and just one run after the other. Well, I'll start binge writing, and my goal is to write 2 hours a day, and most days I hit that. But when you look at book projects that are going on or email coaching that I send out and all that, I will sometimes sit in here on in front of my computer on my rear end way too many hours. I need to get up and walk around more when I do that.
So Don said, here's how I can tell. If it's mojo, I can do the I'll just do 5 minutes thing and it will get me going. When I'm dealing with depression, after 5 minutes, I will then just quit. Yeah, that's a good point.
Hey, I just saw that one of my college professors is on here. Joel Zimmerman is on here tonight. Joel was
Oh, that's
one of the most,
awesome.
oh, he's one of the most memorable, fun people I've ever known in my whole life.
Oh,
Uh,
that's so good. I'm glad he's watching today.
yeah, he's literally, as you know, I played tuba in college. I went through undergraduate school on a scholarship, and I taught tuba and trombone out here at East Texas State on an assistantship when I was getting my master's. Joel was my tuba instructor, and he's literally the best tuba player I've ever heard in my life. And I'm talking about the kind of thing where when you hear someone do it, everybody who thinks about tuba, they don't think about tuba being really musical. The guy was just incredible, and I've heard professionals play, and I've heard like the Toby, what was Toby's last name? I can't think of Toby's last name. Who was the tuba player for Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Joel's way better than that guy. I'm just telling you, that's how good he is. So
Oh,
he's a
Joel.
yeah. He's a
That's awesome. Don said, but I can usually write my way out of either mojo or depression. The latter just takes more time. Yeah,
yeah
that makes sense, though. Yeah. And I think catching or realizing something's off is
right.
the first thing.
So what's the
Yeah.
longest period of time you think you've ever had that lull? Because you've been very consistent with your Avon career over the years, and what's the when
Right.
you have to have gone through those lulls. What's the longest time you ever feel like you had that
Well, I
long time to get
didn't
back?
stop working. I think what's hard is when I do have, like, I remember when I got divorced the second time. That was rough. That
Husband
was
numero
rough.
dos.
Right.
That's
My
the one you take to
my
the edge of the woods and you're released into the wild, isn't it?
Oh God, it is. And my second husband brought his mother to the divorce hearing, which I liked her and got along with her. That was horrible. I guess he thought I wouldn't go through with it with her there. I don't know what he thought. Anyway, I didn't want I so I was crying during the hearing. Oh God, the whole thing was just horrible. And I remember walking back to my car how crappy I felt. But I went home and wrote my tickets up and delivered some orders. So I mean, I just did stuff whether or not I felt like doing it.
Right.
And actually, having Alex has really helped me because whenever I caught myself wallowing in self-pity, which was often
Wallering.
wallowing in
I grew
self-pity.
up in Georgia. That's one of our words. Don't you New Hampshire people take that
You
word?
you can't we can't wallow in New Hampshire.
You said
I
waller.
wallowed in self-pity. I would think to myself,
Hey,
I
Ty.
can't be doing this because I'm the only thing this kid has is me. I've got
Yep.
to get on the ball here and stay up. And hey, Ty.
Hey, Ty. I'm just gonna
I
start
think
calling
that
him Ty Man. I'm gonna
Ty
call him
man,
Ty Man because that's
Ty
his last
man.
name's Man. So it makes perfect sense.
I like to say Tai Chi. I think it's exotic.
It is. It is. I have to pull a comment here. Don King was talking about how Joel Zimmerman was. But by the way, Joel said thanks. My pleasure, Joel. You're always in the memories here. But Don wrote, I'll bet Joel was listening and thinking how you never know where the seeds you sow as a teacher will come up with a great crap. But then I realized that it wasn't crappy, but crop. So I was so confused. I thought Don liked my writing.
Though it's always nice, I think, when somebody from, I don't want to say your past life, but some at some point in your past uh,
Right.
finds out that you did something. I think that's always fun. Uh,
Well, I was hoping to get to see Joel and his wife. Laurie and I were in Florida at one of the events that we were doing down there, and Joel and his wife have a place in Florida that they go during the winter time.
Don
But I
says,
just wasn't
"Crop,
able to
crop,
get
crop."
it. Reminds me of that episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon was sick, couldn't talk, and Sheldon had this habit, of course, of knocking on the door 3 times and go knock 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 penny, knock 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 penny, knock 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 penny. Well, he had his laptop there that he could type and it would do the voice and knock 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 penny, knock 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 penny, knock 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 penny, and then, so Penny came to the door and he couldn't talk, and she said, "Is there anything I can do?" And what he meant to type in was a little honey would be nice, but he mistyped it and it said a little hiney would be nice. And she goes, "What?" He goes, honey, honey, honey.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, Lori from down the Cape. It was good that I had the kid to keep me busy and focused. Yeah. I'm thankful, that's for sure. I can't imagine well, the kid and my mom was here then. So I felt like I probably put too much worth on what I was doing in this situation, but I
Right.
felt like everything hinged on me doing my job. So I made sure to do my job.
Yeah.
You know what I
You know, the
mean?
hardest
Whether I
time
felt
I
like
had to,
say
the
again?
hardest, the hardest time I had to get my mojo back was between the time that I left the uniform company that had bought my company out.
Hmm.
Yeah, I moved to Texas. It was on the job promotion. I'd been one of the top 3 salesmen in the nation, and they gave me a promotion, moved me to Texas, and I was the first general manager for the new branch in Texas. And like 2 years later, we got sold to a competitor, and they shut us down, and they courted me to come on with them, but then the deal wasn't what exactly they said it was going to be. But I stayed there about 18 months. I went from feeling successful and knowing that I knew what I was doing to totally failing. And I was so emotionally drained during that 18 months that when I left that, I was out of work for probably 2 months, and then I started my career with Aflac. But getting that mojo back when I started making those calls to companies with Aflac was the hardest thing I ever had to start over again. And it took me getting to a place that, I always say alcoholics have to hit rock bottom before they start that journey back to the
Did you
top.
think that was because you were mad?
No,
You had to get over the mad part about it?
I was definitely angry, but I was angry at the wrong people. I was angry at the company that bought us out, and the person I should have been angry with was the guy that I was shaving his face, because it's always my responsibility, one way
Yeah.
or the other. I'm the one that has to make it work. It's no one else's problem. It's my problem. I'm the one who needs to figure that out. And I went into a little bit of a pity party. I blamed them. It was a tough time, and that's when we ended up moving in that mobile home. And it was just a boy. It was kind of brutal, and it took me hitting rock bottom basically to start back up. And I write about that in some of the stuff that I've done. It's even in the forward of Streetwise to Saleswise.
Look at what Don said. It took me 10 years to get back to writing, and I'm not sure I would have done it if it weren't for Jeff West.
Oh, brother, you just made my day. Oh man,
That is
thank
so
you.
awesome. Eunice said you two need to write a book on how to get your mojo back.
No, our sequel. If we do a sequel to Blue Hair, it's going. I've already said the title here, and I'll fight you over this one. It's going to be "This is working for me."
You know what's funny? I know I'm still with Avon. It's my number one money earner. I still do good with them, but
Yeah,
I did go through this spell when they broke away from Avon Products Incorporated, got sold to
right,
LG. I was madder than a wet hen and felt betrayed and all that stuff. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel grateful for what I got so far. If
right,
it goes on for a long more time, yay. If
right,
it doesn't, I'm not going to be mad because I'm over it. I'm over the madness
right,
because they could have just shut the whole country down like they did other places, and that didn't happen. But
right.
that mad took me a while to get over that. I was mad,
Yeah, and
and mad
there,
didn't
that
do anything
emotional
for
roller
me.
coaster is going to be there, but You
Right.
just have to, at some point, we're all faced with the same thing. We
Right.
have to just make the decision, okay, this is mine, this is how I do it. Heck, even when I was an employee for another company, I thought of myself as self-employed, and I was selling my time to that company. Now, I had a contract, this is what I was going to do for them. They were going to pay me that money, and that's the way I looked at it. But, but boy, when I went through that, it kind of shook me up, shook my confidence up. But then it kind of took off and it worked out well.
Lori says when Mike died, Mike's her husband or her husband. I was so missing all he did for my Avon business, was unsure what to do, keep going or quit. I needed the money. I decided to keep going to honor his love for my business and the trips he took with me to convention. That's awesome, Lori. Yeah, and it's funny because I was like mad at the new corporate people. They didn't have anything to do with any of it.
Right.
It was actually the corporate people, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, probably, that didn't make good decisions for the entire company. And that's how we got broke off to start with. These
Right.
guys are actually trying to save it. So,
Yep. Yeah.
but I think what I learned in all that is when I was sitting here mad, nobody lost anything except me. I lost sales, I lost experiences, I lost time
Right.
that I could have been not mad. The madness didn't help
Yeah.
me at all.
It eats
So,
you up at the side.
right. It didn't hurt anybody but me. Yeah. I hate it when I figure out it's me. I know you said you blame the guy shaving in the mirror. I mean, I'm not shaving. Although I will tell you, I am paranoid about the whole hair on the face thing. If we're riding in a car together and I go like this and feel a hair on my chin, I'm pulling over. I'm pulling over to pluck the hair on my chin. We're not driving any farther until the hair gets off my chin. So I don't shave, but I am crazy.
Well, I
That
get
was,
these unusual hairs right here, little white
oh,
gray hairs that they have to be eyelash hairs, but it doesn't do the unibrow thing. But I'll get those, and when I'm around my youngest daughter Whitney, every time I'm there, she'll go, "Come here," and she'll pull the hair out.
oh.
It hurts. I'm going,
Because
wait.
all of us have a thing about the unibrow. The guys seem to like the unibrow, like it's a fashion statement, and all of us are like, the unibrow. Yeah, every time I see a unibrow, and Dawn said that's a different sort of blue hair. Well, we're already at time, young man.
We are.
Yes, I appreciate that. We're going to have to, yeah, talk about the number of shows left because, believe it or not, we aren't as many as we were thinking we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have done. Once this one is in the can, this is show number 73.
Oh wow, we have much more left than we thought,
Right, right. So, we considering your busy schedule, we probably ought to pick a different number.
huh? Maybe we just
But
wrap it around my birthday. We'll do it.
yes,
Kind of
yeah, that's a
celebrate
good
that.
idea.
That would
We'll
still be
have
2 years.
the
And
Jeff West birthday spectacular. I think that's
I'll
what we
be
do.
65 this year. Oh gosh, I'm so old I sneeze dust.
Yeah, but how do you keep getting older? I'm going the other way. I've decided that's enough getting
I,
older every year. I'm just going to go and get,
if we were in the green room, I'd tell you exactly why you're getting younger. Attaboy, Ty.
Though I think I'm getting weirder as if that's possible. But someone said the other day she thought I was in my early 50s, and I almost kissed her full on the lips. So I, I think I'm getting weirder, but I'm not sure. Right.
Oh, that's such a continuum. I'm not sure if you need more data on that. So.
You need more data. Well, thank you. Oh, Lori's going to be 65 too in
Oh, very
June.
cool.
I,
It'll be
I know how
September for
she's
me.
getting younger. Eunice Eunice knows the secret. Speaking of which, I'm driving down there tomorrow. It's all the driving that's making me younger.
That's it. Time in a car always does that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I can't listen to audiobooks and stuff. I know you do that. I don't know how
I
you
do.
do that. I
Yeah.
can't concentrate because I need to concentrate on the road, and I can do it if I'm singing music, but I can't do it if I'm trying to listen to a book or something.
Hey,
Oh,
June's turning 65
Maureen
in
says we
September
all know
also.
the secret. What'd you say? I'm sorry,
Uh,
what'd you
Ju-
say?
June said she's turning 65 in September also.
Oh, Dawn says driving. Is that what we're calling it these days?
All right. Green room, green room. Flusher meter's going off.
Okay, I will let you go. Thank you very much, everybody. We will be back next week, and we're going to wrap up in September during
The
Mr.
last
West's
show of
birthday.
September sometime. So
Yeah,
that'll
we're
work.
going to have a birthday extravaganza. That's
Da,
what we're
da,
going to
da,
have.
da, 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 da.
Yeah, with karaoke.
I knew a girl named Karaoke in college. So that's fine.
I bet you did. Well, thank you very much, and we will see you, everybody. Mwah! Love
Love you
you, and
guys. Bye.
we will see you next time.